Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Phay, and this is,
Tegan Phay.
and welcome to the channel. So, Tegan, tell me, what happened to the firefighter who wasn't doing his job?
I don't know.
He got fired. Today, we're taking a look at Flashpoint: Legacy of Flame from Indie Boards and Cards. Flashpoint: Legacy of Flame is a 2 to 6 player game where you are basically running an engine house, okay, or a firehouse. So what's going to happen is this is a true legacy style game, to where every game you play is going to affect the next game. And there's, if I remember right, 12 different episodes in this particular game. All right, all the episodes are going to be done on these two maps. We're going to be putting them together. You're going to be setting everything up, but you're going to have some other pieces of the game. They're going to tell you how to set everything up. You're going to have little envelopes where you're going to store stuff from previous games. All your firefighters are going to be in them. All your equipment's going to be in them. All the cards from the previous games you're allowed to use are going to be in them. I'll tell you what, let me explain how to play this game, and then I'm going to give you my final thoughts. And let's even hear what Tegan has to say. So to play Flashpoint: Legacy of Flame, first thing you need to do is you need to set it up. So to set the game up, what you're going to do is you're going to open up the episode guide. Now, the beginning of the episode guide, if you haven't played this game before, is going to have your prologue missions 1 and your prologue missions 2 before you get into the actual missions, okay? And they're basically training missions. They're going to walk you through how to play the game. Now, I'm going to try to explain as much of this game as possible without spoiling anything. If you see anything here that's spoilers, it's only going to be from episode 1, nothing further and nothing beyond that, okay? So theoretically, you can see this is spoiler-free because it's mostly just going to be the prologue stuff. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take your two boards and you're going to set them up and you're going to put them beside each other. And all the boards are all going to tell you what the episode numbers are on them, okay? And you're going to follow the instructions. It's going to go down. It's going to tell you how to put all your threat tokens on the board, how to compile all your POIs, all right? All your doors are going to fit all over the place, and what other components you're going to need for this particular game, all right? Now, I will take note that I am actually using my Hot Wheels fire truck and my Hot Wheels ambulance. I've been using those since my original Flashpoint game because, to be perfectly honest with you, these do not work for me. They work, but you know what? I got to have them. I'm a Hot Wheels guy. I just got to have them. So, okay. So, to play the game, basically what you're going to do is on your turn, you're going to start off and you're going to have 4 actions, unless you're playing a firefighter that has less than that. So, on your actions, you're going to be able to do a couple different things, all right? You can spend 1 action point and you can move. You can go from point A to point B or one space to another, and it has to be orthogonal. You cannot move diagonal in this game unless you have a specific firefighter to do that. All right. You can spend 2 action points and you can move through fire, which means you can move into that fire space, but you have to move out. You can never end your turn in a fire space. You can spend 2 action points and you can move from one space to another space if you're carrying a victim. It costs 2 action points to do that. Now, later on in the game, you can get the ability to heal them like the original Flashpoint, where you can actually move them at no cost. You can spend 1 action point to open or close a door. Closing a door sometimes may be very beneficial as it keeps the fire from spreading, but it also, explosions will totally take out the door. 1 action point will extinguish smoke. 1 action point will extinguish fire if it's already smoke. You can spend 2 action points and just totally extinguish the fire itself. Sometimes you don't need the fire to extinguish all the way out, but you can just get rid of the whole thing, all right? You can spend 2 action points to chop, which basically means you're putting a damage token on one of the walls. For a total of 4 action points, you can put the 2 damage tokens on the wall piece. If 2 damage tokens are on a wall piece, you can now move through it. But keep in mind, if all of the damage tokens are ever on the board and you need to put another one on the board and you cannot do it, you lose. So chopping may be good, but it may be bad. You can spend 2 action points to drive. If you are on the fire engine, you can spend 2 action points and drive it to the next section, wherever it may be. Okay. You can spend 2 action points and you can radio in the ambulance, which means you're basically telling the ambulance, I need you to go to this next location. If he needs to go to the opposite side of the board, it's going to take 4 action points because he needs to go from one point to the next. All right. You can ride the fire truck or the ambulance for free. It's like the only thing you can do for free. You can change your crew, okay? And this is later on in the game. You can't do this in the prologue, but if you are on the engine for 2 action points, and it has to be the first thing you do that turn, you can spend 2 action points and you can get one of the different crew members, and then you get whatever action points you have remaining and their ability for the rest of that particular turn. And you can spend 4 action points to fire the deck gun unless you happen to be the guy that's really good at the deck gun, and then it only costs you 2. And firing the deck gun is really good because it's going to allow you to try to extinguish flames in one particular quadrant. Now, with all the stuff that I told you you can do, I'm not going to go into really super great detail, but I'm going to highlight a couple of those pieces, okay? Because some of that stuff is really, really important. To win the game, for the majority parts of this game, you have to save 7 POIs. Okay. All right. To lose the game, how many have to die?
4.
4. All right. We got it. Okay. So perfect. Save 7 POIs. So if you have POIs on the board, you want to get to their space, you want to find out what they are. They could be a blank, they could be a special one, or they could be a kitty, they could be a dog, they could be whatever they might want to be. To save a POI, you have to carry them, you have to get them out of the building, and you have to get them to what space?
The ambulance space.
You have to get them to, yeah, perfect. I love it. Okay, so do that 7 different times and you're going to win the game. Easy peasy. Some of the later missions may change that. You're going to have to experience that one on your own. The moving, like I said, was simple. You're just moving orthogonally, and you can even go through a hole in the wall if there happens to be a hole in the wall. Okay, firing the deck gun is kind of an important one too. If you notice that one section of the map, and if you look at it, you're going to see these red dotted lines scattered all over the place. That is a quadrant, and you notice there is an engine inside of those in all 4 of those. To fire the deck gun into a quadrant, there has to be no other firefighters in that quadrant. So if a firefighter's in the quadrant, you're on the engine, you want to fire in there, no can do, man. You're not going to hurt your own guy. Just knock it off. Wait till he gets out, fire it again. Hopefully the building don't collapse, okay? But what you do is you're going to roll the dice. You're going to roll the black dice. You're going to roll the red dice. And you're going to make sure the dice equal this quadrant. If they don't, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take the black dice, you're going to flip it to its back side. That should put you into the quadrant. Then you're going to look at the red dice. You're going to make sure the red dice is also in that quadrant. If the red dice is not in that quadrant, you're going to flip it, and then that's going to be the spot that you're going to hit. And then you're going to treat it like an explosion, which I'll cover here in a little bit later. But whatever space it hits, okay, that gun hits, you're going to remove all smoke and all flames from that space and every orthogonal space. Now, if there's a wall in the way, it won't take it out across the wall. But if that wall has been damaged and destroyed and it can get through, bam, you've just healed that one up as well. And that's pretty much what you're going to be able to do on your turn. Once you've extinguished all of your action points, and one thing you can do, and I will bring this one up, is you don't have to use all your action points in this game. You can bank action points from one turn to the next. Now, you can only bank, if I remember right, up to 4, yes. Correct? Okay, which means if you have 4 action points, you use 3 on one turn, okay? You bank 1 for the next turn. The next turn, you're going to have 5. Now, there's different event cards or something like that may give you some, so you don't want to bank too many because you don't want to necessarily lose them as well. But then again, you want to make sure you do as many actions as you can on your turn. Just because of one reason or another, if it's a 6 of one, half dozen another situation, whether if you use it now or later and it doesn't really matter, you might as well just use it now just in case. Unless it puts you adjacent to a flame, in which case you might want to bank it till later, and we'll cover that right now. So after you're done taking your turn, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to draw fire cards. So you're going to have this fire deck. Now, this fire deck is going to get seeded with several different types of cards, okay? But the main card that's going to be on here is the Fire Rages card. And that's going to say you're advancing the flame or the fire. And what you're going to do is you're going to...
So you're going to roll the black and the red die, and that will tell you on your map, you will see the numbers corresponding to that, and you will put your fire token there. If there is a smoke token already there, it turns it into a fire. If nothing is there, it stays a smoke token. But if there's already fire there, you treat it as an explosion.
Okay, now, and if you ever put it adjacent to a fire token, okay, smoke next to fire always turns into fire as well. All right, so if there's an explosion, so what happens if the dice you rolled happens to be on the spot where there is a fire token, then you're going to get an explosion. So you can actually take the explosion marker, you can put it down to kind of give you an idea of where you're putting it, then put it where they can see it. That might help. Yeah, all right, and then what you can do is every orthogonal space, you're going to put a fire token. All right. If the space is empty, you just place a fire token. If there's fire there, then you kind of keep going down the line. It's a chain reaction that's going to take you to the next open space to put it. If there's a wall, you're going to put a cube and you're going to damage that wall section. If there's 2 cubes already there and it's already damaged, you just keep right on going on out the door. If it goes outside of the building, you'll still put the fire token down because there could be a POI out there that you're trying to save that hasn't gotten to the ambulance yet or whatever. So you still put the fire token down and you'll end up removing all those extra ones at the end. If the explosion hits a door and that door happens to be closed, then the door explodes. You just remove it from the game. If the door happens to be open, then the fire just goes through and does that. Okay. If there's a POI in the space where the fire happens, then that person is dead. He goes in the lost section. If it's smoke, the POI is okay. He's perfectly fine there. But if the smoke lands on smoke, then of course, as Tegan said, it turns into fire. Okay. And that's basically everything you're going to do on that. You're just going to advance your fire if you have to, and then you're going to resolve any explosions you have. The last thing you're going to do is you're going to refresh your POIs. Now, there should always be 3 POIs on the board. If you happen to get a POI out of the building, but he's not on the ambulance space, and I haven't really covered that yet, then he's still considered in play. All right. So in order to rescue a POI, okay, first you have to carry them outside of the building. And then what you have to do is you have to get them on an ambulance space with the ambulance there. So if the ambulance isn't there, then you need to spend a couple action points. You need to get the ambulance there. But the second ambulance shows up and he's there, he's rescued, and then he goes in the save column. Voila, that's 1 down, 6 more to go. But that's basically it. And you're going to keep going round and round and round. You're going to keep taking these actions over and over and over until eventually one of a couple things happens. Either 1, you've saved all of your POIs, which is how many?
7.
Okay. Or you have lost enough POIs equal to
4.
Or what's the final thing that's going to end the game?
If you have all of your black tokens, which are the damaged walls on the game, then the house collapses and you essentially kill everyone and yourself.
Yeah, you're all dead. Don't let that happen.
Don't let that happen.
All right. And there you go. So do all that, save your people, and if you can manage to do that, you win Flashpoint Legacy of Flame. It's still recording.
It's still recording. Yeah.
It's totally still recording right now.
Yeah.
All right, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That was just really a really fast, high-level overview of how this game plays. There is so much more going on in this game because, like I said, this is a campaign game, but it's a legacy game. And this is a legacy game that once you finish this game, you're not replaying this one again. So it's kind of a one and done. But whatever your firefighters look like at the end of this game, you can go play regular Flashpoint Fire Rescue with them. You can keep using them. It's not like it's going to be wasted. Now, I haven't finished the campaign. And just to let you folks know, we've only played through the prologues and we've only played through episode 1. And the biggest reason is I've waited and waited and waited to play this game until Tegan got back from college, because Flashpoint Fire Rescue was your favorite game growing up as a kid, right?
Totally. I was obsessed by the first day that he had gotten it. He had just told me, oh, it's a game where you're a firefighter and you save people. And I was like, I'm hooked. There is a photo somewhere of me hugging the box like
Actually,
a gremlin.
That was Hot Shots.
Oh, it was Hot Shots?
That
I
was
thought
Hot
that was
Shots.
Fire Rescue.
No, that was a different game called Hot Shots.
Oh,
because we had played so much Flashpoint Fire Rescue. And I'm like, hey, there's this new game out called Hot Shots, which is about your forest fire guys.
That's right, yeah.
And I told you about it, and you're like, yeah, I want it. So I brought it home from work after work one day, and oh my gosh, that's all we played for the next week. But we still went back to Flashpoint Fire Rescue. This was still the better game. So, but back to this legacy version of the game. So this is just kind of our initial impressions on how this game is played. Unfortunately, we didn't get a chance to play it during the summer. It's taken us all the way till the end of summer to finally play it. You're taking off to school next week. So this whole thing is going to have to get shelved until next summer. We can dig it all back out, replay episode 1, which is, you're going to see why I don't have a lot of stickers on stuff, because we want to start from episode 1 next summer, and we're going to play all the way through the campaign. That's the goal. Okay. So one of the cool things that I really like about this game is I do like how they give a lot more character to the game, to the firefighters, and to the game. There's a lot more personality. I can totally see how in this game where you're really going to get vested in these, because the first thing you're supposed to do with these guys is you're supposed to put a sticker on them and you're supposed to give them a name. You're going to personalize these guys. So later on down the line, if they die, it's like, I'm going to have to start a funeral or something like that because I'm going to be sad. All right.
A Lego funeral?
A what?
You got your Lego fire truck and ambulance, so make a Lego funeral
Lego
for
funeral.
them. We should
Okay.
do it.
We'll do a Lego funeral. You got it, kid. All right.
I
So
have great ideas.
that's one of the things I think is really cool. The other thing that's really nice is every episode is going to have this episode pack. Okay. And in this episode pack, it's going to have different things. It might have different POIs you're going to use. It's going to have it's going to have an event deck that's going to be tailored towards the scenario you're playing. The other thing that I really like too is it's got this paragraph book. This paragraph book is really cool. So many times we've gone in there, we had to read something that kind of just furthers the story. So realistically, how this game plays out is when you get out of the prologues and you start episode 1, you are now out of training. You are in your firehouse. You have all the different guys that are going to be in that firehouse. And it's just a whole bunch of series of events. And you just have to do the best you can. Win or lose, you still advance on to the next episode. So realistically, it's 12 games. Okay. And then you see what it looks like at the end. And I cannot wait to see what this game looks like at the very end.
Indeed.
So now, Flashpoint, we understand was your favorite game growing up. I know I went and looked. I think there's only like 2 other games that we've played more than Flashpoint. It was like Clue and Connect 4 and Pitch Car. 3. I think those are the only ones. And we played a ton of those too. Okay. But otherwise, for actual board games, what I consider a board game, Flashpoint Fire Rescue is the one you wanted to play.
Yeah.
And what we never logged was you used to play the Steam version as well.
Yes, a couple of times I did play the Steam version.
Yeah. So we always had, so if we couldn't get the board game out, she could play the Steam version, which was actually really fun, and actually enjoyed that one as well. But I want to hear from you. What are your favorite things from this? What do you like that this game does that the original one didn't do?
Well, I feel like there's more things for the turn order, so it kind of, you have like more opportunities to be like, oh, what if I do this instead of this? Or maybe I can save this person for if they're a dud or if they're an actual person, or that kind of stuff. You have more like kind of turn order things to do. But another thing I really like is, am I allowed to talk about the ABCD tokens?
Yeah. Okay. There might be a couple little spoilers here. If you don't like it too much, just yeah, I'm sorry. But like I said, any spoilers that we talk about is only going to be in episode 1. Okay. It's only the first episode you play. You got 11 more episodes to go. So go ahead.
Mm-hmm. So there are these tokens that they're disguised as POI tokens, but they have the letters A, B, C, and D on. This is where the paragraph book comes into play, because if you find one of these, then you immediately get to read about what it is, and it almost gives like the feel of a choose your own adventure, just without the choices section.
Okay.
And it's like, I kind of like the reading portion because that's fun. Because like you said, it brings more
more story into the game.
Yeah,
because a lot of the games we used to play were story-driven games.
Totally.
Destinies and Chronicles of Crime and different things like that. It's something that told a really good story.
Mm-hmm.
And those
that was something I was always obsessed with.
Right. And see, in me, when I play board games, that's one of my favorite things about board games is I want a good story. Okay. So I want to play a board game. And even if it doesn't have reading, I just want it to play out a nice little story for me. And those were the games that you always associated yourself with as well.
Totally. Yeah. So, and this definitely gives that association back that maybe the old Flashpoint wouldn't have. And I mean, we played just the prologue in chapter 1, and Lord, it brought back memories. Especially about like once you get the explosions. The explosions. Which I can't remember. Were the explosions part of the original? I don't remember.
They totally were. Oh yeah, no, that's all the same. Most of everything.
I was like 12 when I last played Flashpoint. I think
No, you were quite a bit older than that, but
I don't know.
It's just been a few years. College has killed your brain, I think.
Totally.
So the gameplay of this one, realistically, is pretty much identical.
It is
to the original Flashpoint. It's
very similar.
The difference is the character cards in this particular one. You're going to have some equipment slots, which this is the one thing is cool. Is in the original game, if your firefighter was in the middle of an explosion, he would get turned on his side. He's going to go to an ambulance and he's going to have to come out. Okay, or he can go back in at that point. And even if you're on an engine and you want to change to a different firefighter, you still can. It costs a couple action points and you can still do that. But one of the things that this one does is this game actually is going to give the firefighters skills. All right. So you have a spot for a couple different skills you can put down on your card, but you also have a spot where you can equip equipment. You have 2 spots. Well, if you are caught in that explosion, you get injured and come out. Well, now you got to put an injured sticker. over that equipment. So now you're one less equipment that you can actually take in. You can get it healed, okay, and then you put a equipment sticker over the top of the injured sticker.
Mhm.
The injured sticker. I said that
Mhm.
right. Okay, and then you can
Mhm.
start using it again. All right. So you can heal your guys and everything else. They're going to get injured. So I mean, the cool thing I like about it is when you go into we go into episode 2, we're going to have this whole bank of firefighters that we want to use. And you want to build their skills up for every single one of them, but because you don't want to sit there at the same time, keep taking the same ones through and through and through. And you got these 2 super firefighters and these rookies that don't know how to do anything and can't do anything. So you kind of want to build them all up, okay, and get them all all of them have to have nice, different, unique abilities, and it's just going to help them out. And if you can find skills, they're going to go along well with whatever their regular ability is. I mean, that's just a plus.
It really is.
So, all right. Anything else you can think of? I mean, just off the top of your head from playing this game that you like about this version compared to the last?
Off the top of my head? Well, that's just to remember the last.
And take in mind, it's been a couple years since
Totally.
you've actually played Flashpoint. I know it's been a couple years.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think it was a year or so since we played Flashpoint when I ordered this one, and then of course I had to get this one in.
Yeah.
It's been sitting on my shelf for 6 months. So it's been a while. So, and I fully understand, and that's one of the reasons why we actually played the prologue. I didn't necessarily need to. I have played the game enough, but I kind of wanted to use it more as a refresher for the game. So, but no, that's it. Personally, I love the fire deck. I love how the fire deck builds up over time. You're always going to start off with these flare-up cards. They're going to sit off to the side, and every time you get one certain card, you're going to add more flare-up cards. Now, the flare-up cards are actually going to help you out. They're going to give you additional AP bonuses. The fire still advances, but you're going to shuffle them all back in. So as the game goes on and gets worse and worse, it does help you out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. One of the things that I was going to mention too is, and this is one of the things that I really love about Flashpoint is I like the pandemic system, and this game here to me fits that pandemic system very, very well. And the fact that you can the game can literally look like you're done. Just put it up, pack it up, stick it in the box, because there's no way in the world you're winning this. Because I know when we played episode 1, I want to say 3/4 of this house was on fire. It was amazing how many flame tokens were on this board. And we got it down to where there wasn't a whole lot left. I mean, at that point, we started getting the engine all over the place. We started using deck fires. The deck gun to put out the fires, and it was cleaning up pretty well. And it actually worked really good. It's emergency management is basically what this game is. Mm-hmm. You got to figure out what's the better thing to do. Okay. The lesser of two evils, so to speak. Okay. Is it taking care of fires right now, or is it maybe going and getting that last POI so that I can win the game or lose the game, however it may be? And I think this one ultimately, I believe we end up losing the game because the fire just got too bad and our POIs just end up, I think, dying. Oh no, the building collapsed.
No, we collapsed.
Yeah, the building
both
collapsed
times.
And we're buried under a pile of rubble. I think that's how this one. They had to dig us out. So, but
yeah.
There you go. Okay, but no. Other than that, me personally, I think this is a fantastic game. If you love Flashpoint, this, in my book, this is one that you should get, especially if you like legacy games and you like campaign games, because this takes Flashpoint to a level that is super good. I mean, it's in my book. If I was to rate this game on a 1 to 10 scale, this is a 9 for me. I mean, I love what they've done to this game, and I love Flashpoint. Flashpoint's one of my favorite games. Okay, what about you? Give me some final thoughts on this game. What do you think of this game?
I mean, I honestly think they've improved on Flashpoint by it still has the basics of what I grew up with, which I love. But then they have the paragraph book. They have the fire deck, which was just entertaining the entire time. We're sitting there. We're like, please don't blow something up. Something blew up.
Yeah.
So the fire deck was really cool. And
the events I really like too.
Yeah, the events were fun. Just being able to go through the story, kind of get an idea, and it's just entertaining because when we finished the prologue, I distinctly remember saying, "Oh, now we're going on to the field. We shouldn't be on the field. We collapsed the house." So that's the entertaining part. You can just joke around about it. Just be like, "Yep, nope, we're horrible firefighters. Don't go on the field." I never trust me with a fire hose.
We haven't killed the firefighter yet, so we're good. Although,
Did I die?
well, no,
Under the
no.
routes?
Well, to be fair, we're going to reset this game once we get a
That's
chance to
true,
play because we
that's
want to
true.
play through all 12 of them. But yeah, so no, there you go.
That is true.
Yeah. So if you were to rate this game on a scale of 1 to 10, where's this in your wheelhouse? I normally don't like to rate games too much, but
Yeah.
I mean, this is a good game, and I just kind of see where do you put this?
I'd also probably put it as a 9.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's just got that little extra, like little extra fun that you need.
Yep.
It brings back the memories, honestly.
Oh yeah.
Like
hands down.
crazy brings back the memories, and it's just fun to do that. It also brings back like the suspense.
Oh,
because you're sitting there and you're sitting there like you roll the dice and you're like, oh, there's 3 broken walls next to that. Great.
yeah.
The rest of the the entire house is on fire.
Yeah, when those damage cubes are scattered all over the place and the fire
so
all over the
bad.
place, and it's like, okay, advance fire. You're like, you just don't want to. You don't want to drop those
No,
dice.
you really
know something really, really bad's going to happen, and it's like, oh, okay. Oh man, it's just it's the aha moments, the tense moments. It's so much fun.
Yeah, it was like the end of one of our games. We rolled like the advanced fire like 3 times. We got a section that wasn't fire. We were like, no, we got this. Blew up the entire house next round.
Yep.
So that was fun.
There you go. Well, there you go. And as far as I'm concerned, like I said, if you like Flashpoint Fire Rescue, this is a must buy.
Totally.
Very well. Well, thank you once again for joining us today. As always, we please ask you to like this video on YouTube, on Board Game Geek, on Facebook, and also on X. We also please ask you to leave us a comment on any one of those platforms, and I'll get to those comments just as soon as I can. And also, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoy the content that I provide you here, I humbly ask that you click on the subscription button and subscribe to my little family, and even click on the bell and get notifications whenever I drop new videos. So, Tegan, what did all the firefighters say when the church caught on fire in the small town?
I don't know.
Holy smokes! So to play Flash... Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Phay, and this is...
Tegan Phay.
And welcome to the channel. So, Tegan, tell me. There's a joke in here somewhere.
Yeah, you caught me really off guard.
Yeah. Why'd the firefighter lose his job?
I don't know why.
No. What do you call a firefighter who doesn't do his job? What happened to the firefighter who didn't do his job? He got fired. I tell you, we're probably not going to look at Flashpoint Legacy of Flame by Indie Boards and Cards because, well, it's not really sure we can even say what it is right now. So, yeah, there you go. Thanks.